have the pleasure to introduce to you Philipp, Philipp Hagenmeyer. I know Philipp a long time, and he works for a company which has supported EuroSPI for a long distance now. Yeah? I mean, in 2002, the keynote was from the development head, at this time from ZF. We had also a ZF keynote, as I remember, in year 2011, and now again, because it's a long-standing company. It was originally the company that was founded by the Zeppelin family, and you know the Zeppelins maybe in history that were flying around there, and it is the company that then from the gears, because the Zeppelin plane needed to have gearboxes, of course, to have the propellers running, and from that the gearboxes were developed, which nowadays are in most of the cars. Yeah? So it's the leading provider of gearbox systems in cars worldwide. Philipp is from the N division. I worked with him a long time in different projects, and he's more a strategic guy. Yeah? So he is part of a team that also think about the future, and therefore we invited him into this conference, because it's not only about quality, it's about innovation as well. So I have the pleasure to announce you with your keynote, and please take the opportunity and give us your thoughts. Yeah?
Thank you very much. So, Philipp Hagenmeyer, this is me. Yeah, perfect introduction. So, ZF Friedrichshafen AG, we're developing and producing gearboxes, steering columns, damping systems, all sorts of different things that basically enable transportation. And while developing these products, automotive SPIs and SPIs assessments is a very important issue for us to ensure process quality, and by ensuring process quality, to finally ensure product quality. And where today, maybe this keynote is a little different, and I will try, or let's just join for this journey. You know, while performing SPIs assessments, there is always this one key point where we always struggle. And you can see it down here. So when it comes down to correlation, you know when you do the rating of the different questions, and the question is, what is the correlation between GP215, month 3, month 5, sub 1, and PIM 3? You know, there are these thoughts, can you give this a higher rating compared to this and this, parallel to this? And also down here, can this have a higher rating than this, this, and this? And to be honest, this point is always a little tiring for me. You know, I kind of feel like this because you get stuck somehow. And this keynote is about why do we get stuck here? And maybe what different ways are possible to not get stuck. As you can see up here, the company side disappears, so this is not company knowledge anymore, but this is more private stuff that I've learned from fantastic people that I want to mention here. First of all, my martial arts teacher, Mr. Stefan Lier, who is also working in ZF. Secondly, Mr. Thomas Litzenburger, and finally, Ms. Hannelore Schnellhügel. I made it. Thank you very much. So, let's have a closer look on this one. What is happening here? Why are we trying to do this logic game? If you really put it down to the essence, this is an approach. It's an approach to reduce our very complex outer world to something simpler, something which is from our point of view simpler therefore better understandable, and therefore consequently manageable. But in effect, we fail because this method, it's derived from the old paradigm of old physics, and we all know that there is now new physics, there is quantum physics, there is other things, and we know that the old physics has a certain limit, and that it's in some areas it's just not working perfectly anymore. So the question is, if we reach limits by this logical thing, what else can we do? How can we make it simpler, more understandable, easier? How is it possible? And the first message I would like to send is, I really believe it becomes simpler if we use not just the brain, but all our senses. And also while performing an assessment. So for example, using all our senses in an assessment, what does it mean? It is suspicious. I've called it the false gift. It is suspicious when you ask for the process and people show you a 30-page PowerPoint presentation. This is just somehow strange, you know, suspicious. So maybe you want to ask there more into the deep, okay? And the second one, I've called it the elegant handover. It is suspicious if you ask for quality targets and the speech is passed over to the quality guys. Okay? Yeah. Suspicious. Why are they doing it? Let's go on. The shiny resource planning. It is suspicious if people show you a perfect resource plan, all lights that you see on green, everything perfect, but somehow people that just don't look like, you know? Very strange. I have to is a phrase you hear there very often. I have to. Another example. The perfect time schedule. It is suspicious when they show you the perfect time schedule, everything in plan, but people enter the room and yeah, are basically hectical and all over the place. And you know, like, just made it, whew. Suspicious. Why? And does this correlate to a perfect time schedule? I don't believe it. When it comes down to talking about team efficiency, SPICE level 2, we should become suspicious about the following keywords. Also very interesting in my eyes. Yes, but, and I cannot. This is very interesting. Actually, there is a complete book from a woman called Lelia Kühne-de Haan with the title Yes, But. And the essence of this book is when you say yes, but, this means in your consciousness you don't accept what was before the but. So you're kind of once again in the box, you know. We have spoken about it yesterday. It's very interesting. And finally, it is suspicious when you ask about reviews and people tell you the story of once upon a time. You know, they talk for minutes and hours and yes, we have done here and there, but essentially, they haven't done it. Okay? So, first message, let us use all our senses and not just the brain. And to go on, to come back to this slide, the question is, how does it become consequently manageable? How can we, in this time of paradigm shifts, of disruptive technologies, how can we still go on? How can we make it more manageable? And to really understand this message, yeah, we have to ask the question, essentially, who are we? Very seriously, who are we? And now it becomes even more brave, so if this doesn't work out, you just please get me a taxi and get me out of here.
I'm famous to invite provoking people.
So, how does it become manageable? And the first question, in your opinion, in an assessment or in everyday life situations, what influence does the assessment leader, or physicists would say the observer, what influence does the observer have on people entering a room? What is happening there? Maybe a few ideas? Little, big?
Whenever two people are in a room, some type of communication is starting.
Yes.
Everybody behaves differently. There's an observer there.
Brilliant, yeah. Okay, brilliant.
You set the mood. If you're coming with a smile, it's more relaxed, or if you're coming really stern,
Okay.
choose it.
Please.
Observer might change the results, like in quantum physics, maybe.
Brilliant, brilliant. Some more?
Gender of the observer might be important.
Yeah,
You can use
definitely.
It's also the status of the observer, because if I am very powerful and have an influence, the people will feel more frightened. But if I dress myself very openly, the people will feel more open for communication.
Absolutely. Okay. So let us keep this question in mind and come back to it in a few minutes. And let's go on with the question, who are we? With this little, it's a little excursion into life. So basically, human beings, some statistics, very, very interesting. We consist out of 75 trillion cells. One human being, 75 trillion cells. We consist out of 6.7 octillion atoms. Incredible amount. And we are, some people say we are the ideal cooperation of 75 trillion cells. Because for some reason all this works together and stays together. And to go on, having a look at one atom, we think of the atom like of a solar system, you know this model? So even one atom is a complete solar system. So if we consist out of 6.7 octillion atoms, what does this mean? Some people say we are a universe in the universe. It's incredible. And think of this. I mean, this is probably 2.4 octillion cells or something moving perfectly. It's really happening. So all these particles somehow cooperate perfectly, and not by the mind. You can't control it. This is something else. This is held together by consciousness or something like this. And to go on, who are we and in which environment do we live? So here, very interesting, some more facts. Our Earth has a surface of 500 million square kilometers, consists out of 6 octillion tons of substratum, and consists out of 1 sextillion tons of water. Incredible amount. And still, if you compare it to the complete universe, it is just this big. At most. The observable universe has a radius of more than 45 billion light years, a mass of 10 squared 50 tons, an age of about approximately 13.8 billion years. It consists out of 100 billion galaxies, and the temperature out there is about 2.7 Kelvin. Here you can see the Milky Way galaxy, and this here, this little dot, this is the Earth. Incredible. And also, if we look at the structures in the universe, from the very smallest to the very biggest, largest, it starts off with quarks, hadrons, atoms, goes on to planets, stars, planetary systems, star clusters, galaxies, and goes on to filaments and voids and quasar groups. So what we see here, Milky Way galaxy, this is just about here. So, yeah, just some inputs. Who are we and where do we live? And to understand this even better, who are we? I want to show you a video. At this point we need a better speaker. It's from a DVD of the very famous quantum physics physicist called Greg Braden. He's basically one of the leading guys out there of our time. The DVD is called The Divine Matrix. Very interesting. I can just tell you it's fantastic, and if you want to buy it, buy it. So, conference in Milano about a very interesting experiment that helps us to proceed.
So is share with,
Okay?
question is, what do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about your world? What I'd like to do is share with you 3 experiments that give you a reason to change your beliefs about who you are. 3 experiments, scientific experiments that tell us beyond any doubt that our inner experience of belief changes our outer world. And I'll do them very quickly. These are 3 very fast experiments. First experiment, number 1, was performed in Geneva, Switzerland, University of Geneva, July 25th, 1997. It was reported to over 3,400 journalists, educators, scientists, engineers in more than 40 countries. Very, very famous experiment. What did they do? They took a particle of light, a photon, 1 photon, and they wanted 2 identical photons. So they took 1 particle and cut it into 2. So now you have photon 1, photon 2. They put them into a special machine that could take the photons and separate them by 14 miles. 7 miles in one direction, 7 miles in the other direction. And once they were separate, they could begin the experiments. So here are the 2 photons. We're going to shoot them 14 miles apart. Here they go. Boom. Okay, now this particle is 14 miles from this particle. And what they found is this. Whatever they do to 1 particle here, the other particle acts like it is still connected, even though it's 14 miles apart. The particle acts like it's still connected, even though it's 14 miles apart. And the question that they're asking is why? If you take 2 particles and you separate them, why do they act like they are still connected? This is important for you and for me, because the phenomenon is called entanglement. Whoops. It's called entanglement. So that is the first experiment. The experiment, and all I'm asking that you remember from this experiment is simply this. Once particles are physically separated, even though they are no longer together physically, the energy is still connected. Does that make sense? Are you okay with that?
Okay. This is what I wanted to show you. So very interesting. Everything that once was connected and is then separated acts like it is still together. And they have shown it with the photons, the stuff our world is made of. So very, very interesting experiment. So what does it mean for us? If we go back in time, for a very, very long time, and once upon a time, you know, there was, we all know it, this Big Bang thing going on. And at this moment, 13.8 billion years ago, all existing is said to have been this big, so the size of a green pea, with temperatures of 18 billion million degrees Fahrenheit. Also very interesting. If you ask scientists how do you exactly know it was 18 billion million whatever, they say we don't exactly know, but about this direction. Okay. So this tells us everything that exists was once connected. And with the experiment Greg Braden has mentioned, this means today we are still connected. Everybody, we are still connected. That's incredible. This is the basics of every religious system, by the way. Before quarrels and fights came on whether this direction is better than the other one. But this is the common linking element of all world religions. It's incredible. So, what does it mean? What if we could use this effect? Can we somehow, in company life, in everyday life, when meeting people, can we use it? And how? And very interesting, we can use it. We have just forgotten how to. So, if you have a deeper look into modern studies, there's, for example, there's a homepage called www.heartmath.com. Very interesting. And it deals with the power of the heart field. What is going on in here? And what they say is the power we have here extends out to several miles. It can be measured several miles away from where the person is. It is, it's working in real time. It is up to 100 times stronger than the brain in an electrical dimension, and up to 5,000 times stronger than the brain in a magnetical dimension. Incredible power here. Way stronger than the rest. But for some reason, it's a little covered. It's difficult for us to have access to this power. And as another hint I would like to give, there is something called the Superradiance Effect. This is very interesting. Because the entrance question was, what effect does the observer have entering the room or during an assessment? What effect does he have? And the superradiance effect tells us the following. If you have a group of people in one room, trained people, and they concentrate all on the same feeling, and you have another group of people somewhere else, then this manifested feeling spreads, and it's proven. The others, they don't know, they don't understand, but it spreads. And they've even found a formula to describe how it spreads. So what they have found is this formula, the square root of 1%. So if you have one person being able to feel this, this is enough to touch 10,000 others. If you have 100 people manifesting the same feeling in one room, you can touch 1 million people. If you have about 8,000 people in one room manifesting the same feeling, it spreads, and it is enough to basically hold the whole world population. This is incredible. And they have tried so many times. Can this be true? I mean, there is the Lebanon Peace Project, there is the Washington Peace Project, there is the World Meditation Project, there is the Jerusalem Peace Project, and they've, every single time they have come to the same measured conclusions. You could talk hours about these conclusions and measurements. There was a huge reduction in crime incidents, there were less police actions in the streets, there were less swear words in newspapers. Incredible. And so they said, well, this can't be true. Maybe it was just by coincidence, maybe it was just the full moon. So they have tried 2 weeks later, they've tried the same thing again. 8,000 people in one room, the same feeling, and it worked out again with the same consequences. So at this point we really have to assume that there is something, that there's something in there, that it's really working. And to be honest, in martial arts, I've been doing martial arts for 10, 12, 13 years now. It's similar. This is a very important area, a very important tool if you perform martial arts. So we find it over and over again in quantum physics, in martial arts, in meditation. So there must be something. But the question is, how can we use it? How can we get access to here once again, steadily? And this is not easy, because usually we are more here. You know? How can we get this? And well, at this point I have to say, by now this was a nice presentation maybe, but just mind to mind. So if we have some time left, let's do it. Okay? Interested? So please, stand up. By the way, this is just one method. There are a million methods. Dancing, chanting, singing, but one method. Okay? So, we stand there and we just close our eyes. And we concentrate to the bottom of our feet. Just some concentration there. When we have this, we concentrate to our head. Then we relax the neck, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, hands and the fingers. Now the chest, the stomach, our hips, the knees, the ankles, the bottom of the feet, and the toes. And then we give some concentration into our hands. Then we open the eyes a little bit. And now look without looking and listen without listening. And a little smile on the face. And if we have this, with our arms, we go like this. And now we do some little movement. And it's like having a rubber band between the hands. Maybe you can feel it. Very subtle. Okay? And we, with the hands, we go like this. And we go like this. And then the fingers like this. And then we go here. And then on the right side. Left side. On the right side. Left and right. Go here. We go like this. And to the heaven. Like something heavy is on the chest. Here, stay on the toes, back. Grab the hands upwards and to here. Go here. With some little movement here, like there's a connection between the hands and the head. This with the left foot, this direction, and like this. Turn the hands, and it's like having a small ball in every hand, like a ball. And we go here to the shoulder, and here to the other shoulder. We feel this for a second. And then the left hand underneath the right elbow. With some little movement, like it is connected. And then again with the rubber band, we go like this. And it's still connected. The hands are connected, 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 connected. And you go here. And then we press heaven and earth. 1, 2, and 3. Then we go here. We lift our foot. We go here. And with the right hand over there. Lift the foot. And again the two balls. Go here and here. And then with the right hand underneath the left elbow, like there's something connected in between here. And then again with the rubber band connected here. Here. Stand normally. And to finish it off, it's like holding a big ball on the chest. Just like this. We can close our eyes, rest like this for maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Feel it, and afterwards go to lunch. Whenever it feels comfortable, you can just
Great. There's questions. Okay. Sit down. Okay. One more question. Well,
try to escape.
okay. Yeah.
One question. You mentioned heaven and earth. In which direction did you think the heaven was?
I guess, you know, it's always about equilibrium. So heaven wants to earth, and earth wants to heaven.
I don't think that's a proper answer.
Why not?
Because heaven is not yet defined. So what is heaven?
Who defines it?
We know what earth is.
Who defines it?
You're the leader, you should.
Well, to be honest, I just try to stick to this methods because talking about this and experiencing this, it's not simple, and there's a danger. The danger is to become foggy here.
You think?
Absolutely. In every martial arts you can practice. This is the basis. To stay down on earth. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Maybe I have to translate maybe this talk for my understanding, and maybe you can explain more. And I know from the practice it's always hard to implement improvements. So you go there, you assess, you go out and people don't do it, right? It's probably more common than the other way around, yeah? So what you tell us is if we can create a mass and then a more critical mass, and if people get the feeling they really do it, they influence the surrounding by this factor of this formula, right? This is what, did I properly understand the message?
Yes, if we manage to get out of the box here, if we manage to be complete, the whole person, then there is the chance to spread.
Okay, but it has an impact, which means that when you are an assessor, then you must be one of the people who is able to convince. As if it's a person who is just an auditor and punishes the people, you will not get this kind of feeling. Or you probably spread the bad feeling, right? It's the other way around.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Absolutely.
So we all sent all assessors to you to martial arts. Okay. Yeah, I understand. Okay. More questions? Yeah. I think you are pretty relaxed for lunch now. Yeah.